Greetings and salutations, humans. This is Froggy and Friend. Not friends, just one friend.
Friend.
Yeah. So it's Caleb who is going to be playing
Hello.
Cedric in our grit game. We're actually going to be doing some background on Cedric. So we're going to be going through what what brought him to us. Um, okay. Let's actually start modern, like what's happening now.
Mhm.
We have not had you roll to make your knife.
Mm-mm. Well, did I? Oh, yeah, the new knife I'm trying to get.
Yep.
Okay.
Um, and also, I have been thinking, are you keeping Hansel in your room, or are you going to try to like maybe get a mine shaft or something that's cooler, like temperature wise?
I mean, right now he's in my
Mm-hmm.
room. Uh, I don't know if there's any mine shafts nearby or
Okay.
anything, but a cooler temperature probably would be for the best because we're in
Yeah.
Arizona.
So we could, work on that. Um, uh, I'm trying to think, and then we could try to have you like request getting more acids or different things like that. How's that? We could just start that way.
Okay.
Um, so what do you want to start working on right now?
Right now, so yeah, you said we're modern.
Mm-hmm.
I think uh most of my attention would be on Hansel, but I mean, I'll probably put in a request with Thaddeus, just asking for more acid materials for stuff.
Okay, so kind of think of this is like this is that first 3 weeks before the
Hmm.
incident with Jade.
Yeah.
So like this is,
Okay.
um, I don't want to be doing anything from that point on because I don't want to get you ahead. That can get a little
Hmm.
screwy. Um, so, um, so you had Hansel in that time. So you've been doing different studying and stuff like that on him. You created that apparatus that's kind of flowing the cooler liquids through him. Um, you are noticing that his flesh is kind of course, drying out. So you're probably patting it down with liquids of some sort. Um, um, yeah. So how would you request? Like, what are you requesting? Like, what kind of stuff are you kind of wanting?
I mean, I'm studying him, but I'm also trying to figure out a way that I could repair him, kind of put him back together, kind of uh just to like reanimate, I should say, kind of in a Frankenstein way.
Okay, kind of going
Uh,
into those few papers you
for
have.
say that again.
Kind of going off of those papers you have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Actually, let's have you roll a linguistics for those papers.
Okay, let me see what my linguistics is.
Yep.
And 2d2
Yep.
or d20, sorry.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hey, not too bad actually.
What is your linguistics?
14.
Oh, that's nice. Your
Ooh.
difficulty here is 3, but what do you got?
Well, I got one success, so
Okay,
even if
well,
I got
with one success, you're like, okay, you've got the bait, you've got extremely rudimentary of kind of what you need to do. Um,
hmm
these papers are like you just kind of realize that these papers are way older than you thought.
hmm mm.
The language on it, you kind of originally thought it was possibly Russian or something like that, um, but when you're actually trying, like when you're reading over something and studying it, you're just getting the idea of things. You're still that way, but now that you're actually kind of studying into it, it's like almost like a code language.
Okay.
Um, and with that one success, you definitely would have picked up on. There's a merger of probably 4 or 5 languages.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
I think. Wait, has Thaddeus seen these papers?
you have not these ones you brought from home.
Ah. I probably I probably bring him to Thaddeus and see what he can make of it. If he's not, this is before the thing, so yeah.
Yes, it's before the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, so
Yeah.
he is ecstatic looking at these things. Um, let me go to. Okay. He's kind of in the same boat as you, um, just at the moment. He figured out a few other things than you did. Kind of like you're piecing things together. Um,
Hmm.
but what he's going to do is he starts kind of copying down the code the way he can, and he's going to be kind of working on the code and possibly reaching out to people.
Okay.
Um, because there's one thing about like language, but once it's like a language code, it's a little bit different.
Hmm.
Um, and he didn't really even ask you what it was for. He's just interested in helping you. Um, the but but after he writes those notes down and stuff, you take the pages back to your room, um, and then you kind of let's have you. Oh, while you're in there, you could actually try to request some different stuff. Like, what were you wanting? More acids? Were you going to try to go with flammable things? Were you going to go with?
Oh yeah. Wait, did I make those the flammable things like last time?
I think I think you had rolled for it, but there was so much going on that day. I'd really apologize. I might have missed what you did.
I did some volition. I got volition with vicious on it too.
Okay.
Um, and then yeah, I'll probably ask for. I think I'd ask him for more acids
Acid.
if available.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. What's do you have a photo of like the
the acid list.
yes?
Let me see. Pretty sure I do.
Because I do have the book here, but I just don't feel like flipping through at the moment. If you've got it kind of saved.
Yeah, I do. I got it. Ooh. I remember having last time I had Seth's serpent and I think simple acid, and I used those already.
Yeah.
I used that in that one fight with the ghouls, and it didn't really do anything.
Well, it didn't really have. You didn't get roll an
Effect on.
effect, so you didn't get the persistent. Um,
Well, I think I might. Am I making these, or am I just getting them from Thaddeus?
well, what's the difficulty on them?
So I would probably want some harsh. If I could get blistering, but that's D4,
A D4. Okay.
and harsh fume is D3.
Okay. D4 and D3. Let's let's have you roll a. I'm trying to make it so you're trying to, like, of course he's going to try to get it to you, but you're which is better for you, science or alchemy?
Ooh, pretty science or alchemy? Alchemy.
Alchemy? Okay, let's have you roll an alchemy. Whatever the difficulty is, that's what you're rolling, and what it is you're kind of going through that part of your brain, figuring out where you can have him get that from.
Okay. So I'm wondering if I should just shoot for the D4. I'll just shoot for the D4, and then can I get two more dice? Trade some
Yeah.
Doom for two more dice.
Yep.
All right, here we go. One, two, three successes.
And what were you needing?
It was a D4.
It was 4. Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to say that you can get that acid. It's just going to come at the very end of the month, like before, like
All right,
yeah.
sounds good.
And actually, because it was the other one as well, the other acid as well.
Okay.
So I'll just say there's like a complication. You're doing this via letters or telegraph, so it's
Okay.
iffy sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so you go back to your room, um, and then you've got your papers and you put them in the usual spot, and then you kind of start to just kind of remember when you got those, but it's kind of before. Um, it's about the year would have been 1848 about. There was a bunch of a lot of upheaval going on in Germany at the time. There was like that's like where there was a kind of a rebellion against the nobility and stuff like that, trying to overthrow things. Your family being not really high up, being that they were in essence barons, which is like the lowest form in Eastern Germany. You still, it's 30 years ago. You were 30 some years old with your wife, but you were still living in that castle in East
Mm-hmm.
Germany. Um, your father was there. Wolfgang uh, Dietrich, last name of course. I'll send you that so you've got that. Um, your and he was and you start really reminiscing about whenever your father was home, because he was, the best way to put it would be like an ambassador baron sent off to do different things. Um, and you're just kind of thinking about one of the nights it just really stood out to you that he had like 3 signet rings. The one on his left pinky was the family crest, and then the two on the one on his pinky on his right hand and the ring finger on his right hand. Um, you could just in all those years you could really just never really they looked super old. You're just kind of remembering that, and then the memory kind of phases to um, how he always requested that you stay out of his personal study, and of course, you being who you are, you definitely went into his personal study. Um, and you were starting to go through on his desk. You started rummaging around because you're just curious, as always, and you kind of noticed that one of his large bookshelves was there's a little gap there, and you
Ooh.
shifted it, and there was definitely a space behind there, a very large one. Um, you kind of, and like the first time you found it, would you have gone in the first time? Because you're okay.
Yes.
There's definitely a torch in the wall you can light. So,
I like the torch.
all right. And remember, you got two hands right now, so you know
Yep.
you're doing good.
Oh, very
Yeah.
strange.
Uh, so it begins as like straight into like a spiral staircase going down. Um, then when you get to the base level, it opens up. Uh, you're guessing the original intention for it was maybe like kind of like a crypt that never was finished, just because of the architecture. The way it's decorated is very interesting. There's a large sculpture to your left of like a bearded like a lion with a man's head with a long beard and possibly had wings. You're kind of it's really old. Um, you want to roll a lore for me.
Yeah. Would you say roll a what?
Lore.
Lore.
Yep.
Too bad, not too bad.
Yours shouldn't be that bad.
2 successes.
Awesome. Well, um, being with your education, you should definitely know what that is. That would be. Let me get the. If I
Move
can
over
actually.
so I can write.
Yeah. That would be a Lamasu. That would be a Sumerian um, chimera.
Hmm. Awesome.
That's the first thing that kind of meets you there. And then there's to the right. It looks like there was one of those sculptures that the feet. All that's left is the 4 feet. Does that make sense? So you're kind of going in,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you're going in, and then there's like actual. Looks like there's uh, stone sarcophagi that have apparatus so you can open them, and some of them have wax seals around them. The one that looks like it's been opened before, you probably grab it and it just kind of open. There's like chains and pulleys, so you open it and it's just stacked full of like clay tablets.
Hmm.
Um, then you kind of keep looking around. There actually is a desk with notes, stacks upon notes, rolled up papyrus scrolls, like organized, um, and have roll me a let's see, should that be? Roll me an observation. So that's just you.
Observation. Where's my?
That'd be under
Ooh.
awareness. Not super awesome.
Hey, 2 successes.
Nice.
Surprisingly, nice. It's only an 8, and I got a 6 and a 3.
Oh,
so
nice. Okay.
there goes my good rolls for the
Hey,
day.
hey, Mike. Uh, that was just to kind of see if you noticed anything extra, and you did.
Mhm.
Well, the first thing that really stood out to you is like a glass cylinder with kind of like a stand within it holding up a single sheet of paper, like a single sheet of papyrus, with large amounts of script written on it and something that you don't necessarily understand, but it has three like black dots on the bottom corner of it. It looks, and because you rolled the two successes, you can definitely tell it looks like there's wax over the black dots.
Hmm.
And then to the right of it, there's like five sheets of paper that have been kind of tied together, um, and this is where you find what you have right now, your directions to make something. Uh, that's and it just almost glows off the page. Those two things just kind of like it's kind of what I've been interested in. So what do you do?
Uh, okay, so I see this paper and I'm interested in it.
Mhm.
I'm obviously being the man that I am, I'm going to take the paper.
Okay. You do you take the one from inside the cylinder too?
Yep,
Okay.
get it all.
All right. All the rest on the paper looks like it was your dad um, translating,
Mm.
um, but it wasn't necessarily things that you're kind of drawn to. So you bring that back up. You shut the or do you keep looking in the room?
Like in the study,
Yes.
do I notice anything that would catch my eye?
It's still a large space, so kind of think of a almost like a storage room with like wooden crates and stuff like that too. So you maybe walk around, and he had his desk kind of in the center of this
Mm.
large space. You're walking around. There's like suits of armor kind of on stands holding up. There's different like medieval weapons. That all of these things have definitely been used. Um,
I think I would I think I would play around with a weapon for a little bit until I accidentally broke something and then like set it back carefully and then run out.
okay, awesome. Like I'm imagining this was in 48, so you're in your 30s. Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome.
I mean,
Uh,
I'd do that now and I'm 22, so
yeah. Well, I'm 36 and I would do the same thing. So I'm just thinking of this highly intelligent. This is awesome. Uh, okay, so you do that. You probably knock one of the suits of armor over, and it just echoes in there. The sound reverberates everywhere. You set the it was probably like a halberd or something. You set it against the wall, and you walk over, grab your paper, and then the halberd falls and hits the ground, and you just kind of scurry upstairs as quickly as you can. You go back to your room, um, and your wife's there. How do you want to say that?
What?
Your wife's name?
Marie?
Yeah, just Marie. Okay.
Yeah, Marie.
Okay. Marie's there. You look kind of giddy and excited, and so she's excited about it too, whatever it is. And then and because she's your lab assistant, um, so she's going over. She's kind of drawn to that single sheet of paper, whereas you're kind of brought to that bound one, and
Hmm.
she um, she sees it as she recognizes what Sumerian looks like and looks kind of like that, but it's
A little different.
just a little bit different. And she looked at the stuff that you were looking at. She's like, "There's some in there, but she really has no idea about those." Um, so you you go to bed that night. Uh, you wake up to a weird meowing that you're kind of used to, the house cat. They, are you fond of this cat?
Uh, I would say I like it, but I'm not like attached to it.
Okay. It's uh it's doing what cats do. Um, it's chewing on stuff on your desk, and it's chewing on that single piece of paper.
Hmm. I probably rush over quickly, but like pick it up by the neck and try and set it down.
Okay. And it like starts licking itself, and then like looks up at you and just starts hacking a little bit, and then scurries off. Um, you check the paper. It ate one of the dots and one of the corners.
Ooh, ooh. I'd probably like just quickly swear in German,
Okay.
just because of the.
Okay. Um,
I don't know any German curse words, so I'm not gonna attempt it.
I do. So, but we
If you
don't
could
need
give
to.
us an example.
No, I don't think we need to. Um, okay, so uh, so that's the beginning of that day. Um,
Right.
your your dad isn't due back for a while, so you've got time to study this out. I'm guessing you're probably just going flipping through your books trying to start to translate. So it's like
Probably have my wife with me,
hmm
helping me.
yep. Well, it's around like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and you hear screaming from down the hall. So you head that
Oh,
way.
hmm oh, before I leave, I want to put like the papers like under something or protected so the cat doesn't get back in.
Okay, so you probably have something inside your desk. Just put them in
Yeah.
there. Um, you go down the hall and you hear the distinct sound of a cat attacking somebody.
Mm.
Um, the it's one of the maids is just trying to kick it and bat it off, and she's cut up on her arm and
Ooh.
everything. And she throws it so hard it hits the wall, and then it lands and is twitching. So it looks like she killed the thing, like from throwing it. And she's not using any other German word other than swear words at the moment. She's just trying to wrap up her arm in her like apron and stuff, and um, and she just kind of runs off. And she's like apologizes about the cat, but she's like trying to take care of the blood because it's dripping pretty good. Uh, so you, I don't,
Well, my initial response was to check on the maid, but she ran off.
mhm.
So I think I'm gonna investigate the cat,
Okay.
see if it's alive or
Well, it
something.
stopped twitching almost instantaneously, and it just kind of was there. Um, the um, the maid really didn't run off all that far if you actually want to check on her. But
Oh yeah, I would go up to her and be like, ask her, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I help you?"
okay, so she shows you her arm. Roll me a healing.
I hope I don't mess this up. Accidentally kill the maid.
Yep.
What do I need?
Healing. It should be.
Yeah. No, no, no. I mean, like, do I need just one success or something?
Yeah. This is.
Okay.
It's it's a cat scratching and biting somebody. It wasn't.
Yeah.
She's bleeding, but it's just probably because her heart's beating
I got
pretty good.
I got one success and a 19. I don't know
Nope.
if a 19's a
Nope.
critical.
Because
Okay.
you have training in it. It's not a. It's just a. It's just like a failure. So you help her. You run over and get some bandages, and of course you wash it out. You clean it off, and you
Hmm.
wrap her arm up. Um, then then you go back to the cat, right?
Yeah.
It's not there.
Oh, curious. Do I see? Can I make an observation to see if I can see where it went?
Yeah. Um,
Awesome. Oh, my observation's
Well,
terrible.
actually, or it could be or survival.
Oh, both are
Okay.
terrible. All right, here we go. One success.
Okay. Um, you actually see kind of like a really sporadic blood trail.
Hmm.
Um, you go off. Um, it takes quite a while to follow it because it was initially like once every 5 to 10 feet. Then it went to 20. But you're this is a castle, so there's a lot of hallways, a lot of rooms, so it could be, and it's stone floors. Um, so you're going, and it looks like it went outside. It went out through a window because you're the base level.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, probably look out the window, see if I could see any signs, because I'm kind of curious at this
okay.
point.
Um, roll me an observation then. This one would
Yeah.
definitely be, this is new because you're not tracking. So
Ooh, two failures, so no
okay,
successes.
awesome. Um, you've got no clue. Um,
Is there any help around, like outside, that I can see?
yeah, probably someone's working on like trimming the hedges or something.
I'd probably yell down and say, "Excuse me, there. Did you see a cat run away? Like, injured, maybe?"
They look up and they point towards the stable.
Hmm. All right, I'll probably head that way
Okay.
then.
Takes you a little. Is Marie with?
Was she with me when we first heard the
Oh yeah, she would
scream?
have definitely followed you.
Okay, yeah, then she's probably with
Okay.
me.
Uh, you go to the stable.
Because I feel like she cares about the cat a
Okay.
lot. So,
Okay. Um, so you go into the stable. You hear the horses just doing their thing because they're in their pens.
mm, mm. Make another observation, I'm guessing.
Sure, why not?
One success.
Okay. Um, one success. Okay. You you don't really see the you're not seeing any signs of the cat. You're just kind of hearing that some of the horses are a little fidgety up ahead. So you kind of scoot that way. Um,
Keep my distance, because I'm afraid of getting kicked in the head by a horse.
okay. Well, their heads face you. So
Okay.
now you're going in, and there's kind of think of like the row of stalls. There is one empty stall, but the horses next on both sides of it are like freaking out, trying to they want to get out.
Okay. I would like to, yeah, investigate. Slowly peer over the stall.
Okay, well, it's a open door, and in that corner you see the cat kind of curled up, and then as you look over, it looks like it almost pops its shoulder out of the front. It kind of spins around, and then its chest starts going. Looks like it's going upwards, and its like arms are bent backwards the wrong way, and then it just kind of like flips around, and you're hearing creaking and cracking, and then the thing is like chittering its mouth, and it's drooling black, and then it hisses and starts going towards you. Roll me.
Oh
Yep.
gosh. I had a feeling this was gonna happen, but I was still curious anyway.
Yep. Roll me a acrobatics to dodge out of the way.
God, this is bad. I gotta roll good.
Yeah, you do.
I did not roll good. Two fails.
Two fails.
So
Okay,
it's getting me.
okay.
My acrobatics is a 5, by the way. I am not a spry man.
Okay. This is where Marie being with you is a boon. She actually grabs you and kind of gets you out of the way because she rolled really well, and she gets you out of the way, and
Nice.
it lunges past you, and it did it with such force it slams its body against the other side, other stall, and it's like crimples and it's on the ground, and it definitely sounded like it broke something, but it doesn't seem to be stopping it. It's like hissing like a gurgle, like a gurgling hiss, and it's.
Hmm.
I'm guessing you guys are booking it out of there.
Oh yeah, if I can shut the stable doors behind me, I
Okay,
would.
you can totally do that.
All right.
Because it was slightly discombobulated when it slammed. It was doing the creaking stuff. Um, so you're probably going to run around, shut the other stable doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that you've got seven. You have 7 horses in the stable at the moment. Just so you have
Mm-hmm.
reference. Um,
Oh gosh.
uh,
There it is.
so so what do you do now?
Oh, we're booking it back into the mansion. As we're running, I want to like look over my shoulder towards Marie and go, "What? What the heck was that?"
And she's just like her eyes are just wide. She's like, I have no idea that I don't know.
That is not a good cat.
Um, roll me a science.
Ooh, please good rolls. One success.
Okay. Um, well, also you've known that cat its entire life. So you're like, yeah, it might be associated with what it ate earlier.
Mm,
So that's running through your
just
head.
me.
Um,
I think also what's running through my head is the maid that got bitten.
yep, that definitely start running through. Do you want to try to find her?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say me on the outside, like in real life, would say no, but Cedric would probably want to find her, so
Okay.
yes.
The like the helps corner, like the help area. Oh my okay, the sound's still working. My video froze up again. Oh well.
Yeah, mine it froze for me too.
Oh well.
Oh.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna continue.
Well.
If the audio is working, we can continue.
Yeah,
Um.
I still hear you fine.
Okay, good. Now, you go to the area where the kind of like the kitchen area, like the main area of that. You start asking around, and she kind of went to, because this is a castle. You actually have the capability of housing your help. Um,
Mhm.
so you you and Marie go to her room. She is not in there.
Oh no. Hmm. She was bleeding quite a bit. I guess I did patch that up, but
Mm-hmm.
I think at this moment, if we don't find her, we just go back to the room.
Okay.
Probably look into that. I would probably start looking into that paper where those dots were to see if I can figure anything out, like what happened to the cat.
Okay.
In a quick, terrified version, not just like sitting down studiously.
Okay. Just roll me a science then, quick.
Yup. So, one failure and one critical success.
Okay, so that's
Two,
two.
I guess.
So with that, you kind of lift the page up and you're looking down at that wax. Um, you sniff it and you're like you definitely don't want to touch it now. Well, you flip it over. There's like a wax seal on the other side as well of these other two dots.
Hmm.
And then you're kind of looking at it. Um, and you definitely you'd have a microscope, maybe not the
Okay.
um, but if you're doing it kind of frantically, you just kind of put it underneath, and roughly what you see is there's it's reminiscent of it's definitely like organic. It is either like a mold, dried blood. Um, it's kind of like a just at a quick glance, it's definitely an organic compound that's been covered up with that wax. And right about when you kind of take that page away is when you kind of hear a lot more franticness outside and down the hall. Um, you look out the window outside. Definitely looks like the horses got out.
Oh, great.
The large animals, they can definitely kick down a door if they get out.
Mm-hmm.
You've got um,
Just heard a bunch of dice roll.
yep. Three of them were bolting it, and they were looking like they were moving normal, just at a
Mm-hmm.
glance. But the other then you see like two more come out, and they're moving jerky and different. Then another one comes out moving awkward, and then the cat, and then the final horse is out.
All right. Wait. And that's obviously strange behavior for that. What do I see the cat do?
It's it was kind of initially looked like it was kind of chasing after the three normal horses, but then once it saw like one of the helpers started booking it that way, and the helper started running away from the cat.
Oh no. Oh gosh. Does
Um,
Marie see this?
oh yeah, she's wide eyed, and as you're both looking out this window, you see that helper grab a hold of like a it, they're they were used for cutting grass and back in the day. You know what
Mm-hmm.
that looks like?
Like a, is it kind of like a scythe kind of looking thing?
It's kind of like a scythe, but it has a little bit more things attached to it. He grabs one of
Yeah, with like a
those.
little hand. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's a full pole, and he grabs it and he swings it at the cat, and he hits it. Um, and he like cuts the cat in two, so like the halves kind of spin and go off. You're like, okay, it's done. Well, both halves just start moving around.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he just starts slamming down on both of them, like back and forth, like chopping them up, and he's screaming, which gets the attention of those other horses that start charging at him. And you are hearing commotion behind you in the hallway too.
I think I look at Marie and I tell her we need to get out of here. And I start stuffing, like I take that paper and I stuff it in my bag and I stuff all like important stuff.
Okay.
And I think we just kind of bolt for it at this point.
Okay. There are multiple exits, and you're going through. You definitely see that maid uh, moving in ways that she's not supposed to, ripping into some of the other help. She's like
Okay, so
on all
run
fours.
opposite of it.
Yeah. Well, let me describe what you see. There's a guy trying to pull the maid off, and he gets her to gets her off, but her head starts turning around, like the muscles are controlling, and she's starting to bite at him. And her arm looks like it dislocates itself to be able to grab a hold of him. And she like spins with unnatural speed and starts ripping into his neck.
Oh my gosh.
And the woman that she was biting into her torso, she starts like screaming, and then her voice cracks, and she just starts spewing out like a red like a red froth from her mouth, and her arms start creaking back, and she falls back on the ground, and she's like doing a like crazy crab walk running after you. So that was the lady that was just bit.
Oof.
And then the maid that you helped her with her arm, she starts running along the wall for like three, like movement of her arms and legs for a few times, and then kind of slides down to the ground like on all fours, and then starts running upright. And then that guy like slumps down to the ground, and then he gets up like bent in half the wrong way, and he starts lunging and running after you guys.
Oh good lord. Um. Well, I turn to Marie and go. I say run, and I'll let her like in front of me,
Okay.
so I can protect her. Like if they get anyone, it's me first before Marie,
Okay.
and we just, I guess, just trying to find the quickest route out, not towards the stables.
Okay. You're running down the hall. So you go through the pretty much like a big ballroom that has there's candles along the walls, and there's like in essence kerosene lamps, but it would have been oil whale oil lamps.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lighting that you're kind of going in. So it is pretty ominous because this is dusk now. So it's getting darker. So as you're running, and this is where you kind of run past the wing that you've got your younger brother, and your older brother is away, but your younger brother is in the area. Are you gonna try to get him?
How far behind are the guys?
Roll me an observation.
Oh no. Okay, here we go. Observation. One success. Good roll.
Okay.
3.
I'd say you guys were booking it. They are in medium range. So, um,
Is he like in his own room?
you haven't yet. You don't know. He's the kind of he's a studier like you are.
Uh-huh.
He's like in his late teens, early 20s.
Okay, I want to say just from like Cedric's knowledge of the
Mhm.
building, right? What floor are we on?
You're the base.
First?
You're the base floor.
On the base floor. Okay. And 2, does he remember if there is windows
Yeah, there's
in his brother's room?
there's windows in your all the the bedrooms have windows.
Okay. I'm gonna say we go in
Okay.
there and try to block the door
Okay.
to see if even if he's in there or not. And then I'd probably smash open a window for an escape.
Okay. You bang on the door. He does get up and open it. You get in there. You start barricading the door. He's definitely wondering what's going on.
I would be like very frantically, "We have to get out of here. It's crazy out there. I can't explain what's going on, but the cat ate the paper and the cat is bad now. We just have to go."
He's kind of distraught because that was his cat. Um,
Mhm.
so he starts. He doesn't even pack anything. He just puts some boots on. He starts tying up some of the sheets and stuff to have base like in essence like a 25-foot rope just to wrap around him for some odd reason. It looks like
Okay.
he's like kind of excited to do something adventurous. Um, you definitely hear the banging on the door. Um,
Oh no.
and oh my gosh, I can't believe I rolled that good. Ooh. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Just for I only rolled 1 3. All the rest were numbers that work.
Dang.
Yeah. So, uh, and he's still a little discombobulated, and Marie's starting to climb out the window. Uh,
Hmm.
and outside, you're hearing a lot of weird noises, and then the front door, like the front door area, you start hearing banging. Um, and Marie's like, "What's going on out there?" And she gets down and is trying to hide. Uh, you your brother and you start getting out, and the door just kind of explodes open, and all of them just start like crawling over each other. But your brother is last. He grabs his his oil lamp and throws it at the door as they're coming through, and it like explodes over
Smart.
them, and they start
Smart.
screaming because they're on fire. They're screaming and like they're not even batting it off, but they're like attacking the walls or whatever is next to them. Um, so yeah,
I think the plan is just to book it in a direction and get as far away as possible.
okay. Uh, you guys start running, and you're going into the woods because that's just to the safest place that you're thinking. You're
Hmm.
hearing a lot of commotion that way. You glance over, and it looks like the townspeople are like breaking down your door of the
Dang.
of the castle.
And they look infected too.
No, not infected.
Oh.
Um, then you're having a recollection that there's been social unrest in your country, and lo and behold, it had to be tonight. But the townspeople are pretty much getting rid of the nobles.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a good time to leave.
Yep.
That's that's. I'm not warning him. We're just getting out of here.
Yep.
I'll probably tell Marie and my brother as we're running. Just we have to get somewhere safe where no one else is around. Like panting, just booking it.
Okay. Well, let me double check. Are you having fun right now?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Okay, good. I want to double check. I gotta make sure. So you guys have like no money. You've got nothing.
Hmm.
You're dressed in finer clothes and stuff like that. So you kind of camp out, try not to start a fire. Um, so yeah, so you're definitely roughing it. Um, but you kind of go to, there's different places in the woods to kind of stay safe. Uh, but like later in the week, because you keep going farther and farther south, uh, and you sneak up onto a homestead and you kind of hear some chatter in essence about, like, they heard some hearsay that um, that your castle was like up in flames and the countryside around was engulfed too.
Wow. Just like from a cottage, we're sneaking around.
Mm-hmm.
Oop.
And you're like, you're having to take food because you're trying to keep hidden. Um, so there is your brother kind of remembers that there's like a kind of like a place that both of your dads kind of told you about, like a kind of a safer place that he goes to, and there's a pub
Mhm.
uh, just in the next town. So you kind of dirty yourselves up and you head to it. Um, and your brother kind of is the one that kind of heads up some of the um, conversations with certain individuals that you're supposed to talk to. Um, he gets you some help to get you, and in the next few weeks, it turns out that you guys are kind of put onto a boat and sent to Mexico.
Oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
New scene.
Yep. So you get to enjoy being on a boat, cramped in with a bunch of people. Um,
So it's me, my wife, and my brother.
yep.
Nice.
And yep. You're
So
yeah.
yeah.
What was it?
Oh, I was just saying. I'm guessing we just got to like safety and then got out of there.
Yeah. It's it was pretty spooky because you can't use your names.
I think I pick up a even worse drinking habit during this time.
That definitely would make sense why that would happen. Um, you don't know what happened to your older brother because he was off doing, because he's kind of like an ambassador, like your dad was, or your dad is. Um, but your younger brother's confident that your dad will be able to find you guys because that's like the safe person that they went to. Um, and you kind of just get set up. Marie probably is like trying to be a seamstress, like because she to help make you guys some money. Your brother really has no skills for working. You not all that much either.
No. um. Shoot. What? I mean, all I could think of the jobs I could do is like teaching.
Okay, well uh, you could definitely try to. You're not getting. You're probably just getting paid in food then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's survival of the fittest right now.
Um, so you're surviving. So
Hmm.
you've got so the trip over here would have taken quite a bit. So it's still it's like 1849 now. You've been there almost a year. Um, did you get curious about during that time? Do you look at any of your papers, or do you do any studying, or
Oh,
you just kind of
oh yeah, studying a lot, maybe almost every night,
okay? Well,
especially about the spot or like the three dots.
okay. Well, the difficult thing is you don't have anything to really compare it to, so you're just kind of going over it again, and again. You're probably writing notes on the incident, how things happened, how things acted. then so you're probably losing a lot of sleep. You're definitely diving to the you're going to the bottom of a lot of bottles. Um,
Definitely.
yeah. Do you feel guilty that you started that, or
There would be guilt, sure, but I think the curiosity takes over.
okay?
I mean, it's like the guilt's there, but the curiosity overtakes it until he figures.
Okay. Um, okay. Um, so how do you have these papers housed? Like, what do you have them in?
I mean, I think just like my bag, just collected papers. Um, Maybe I have what would that be? I guess like some sort of yeah. I think it would be in a book I use. Just put in between the pages, and then the book would be wrapped up or something, so I can stuff it into my bag.
Okay.
Not really clean. Like the papers are kind of just put in there messy, like no order, I should say.
Okay. Well, so you put this book in your bag. That's about it.
Yeah.
Where do you keep your bag? I'm just trying to get a. 'Cause you're
Uh,
living in
I
like a one room shelter at the moment with your brother and your wife.
Okay, so I would, if like during sleeping, I would usually have my bag on me unless I'm sitting down studying. Then it'd be to like next to me on the ground or like leaned up against like the desk or something. Or if I'm sleeping, it's probably like by the bedside.
Okay. Um, there's one night you hear some commotion and someone's trying to get into your house, and they do. Your brother tries to stop him. He gets pushed over. Um, and the individual, it's pretty close to pitch black inside your house because you've got like maybe a candle still going.
Mm-hmm.
And these individuals they're asking you in Spanish, of course, for they want your money and whatever you have, um, and
Mm-hmm.
your brother's kind of knocked down to the ground, dazed. Your wife screams. They grab a hold of her, so you try to stop that. Um, One of them grabs the bag and is starting to move out, and Marie reaches for it and is trying to pull that back. You see a gun flash, um, and they drop the bag and they kind of run out because there's other people going around. Uh, After that, you see your brother on the ground. He got he got that chunk of lead in his gut.
Oh,
Eh,
I would. I mean, they ran out,
Yep,
right?
they ran out. The bag's on the
I mean, I
ground.
would immediate. So he took the bullet, not Murray.
Correct.
I would go immediately rush over to him.
Okay.
Probably put my hand like on his head, slap him a little bit, be like, "You have to stay with me. Let me help you." And I'm like trying to bandage him up, very frantically because
Okay.
it's my brother.
And Marie's trying to help too, but she glances over at the bag and she's like, "Cedric, it went through the bag."
I'd probably just not now. We have to get him. We have to get him good again.
He's
And then I'm
he's
like
he's
still like
bleeding out
bandaging him.
because it was right at the base of
Ugh.
the rib cage, like a little bit to the left, underneath the sternum. So it
Hmm.
went through the liver. So he's not a very happy camper.
Hmm. Okay, so he's definitely dead.
Sadly, yes, and
Um,
you're trying to calm him down, and
yeah.
he's bleeding out, and he's then there's that moment in your head you know that he just passed away, and you kind of step away because you and then that's when you go grab your bag and you see that the bullet went through the bag, and you
Oh,
go in, it went through your book,
oh no.
and you're flipping through,
Open.
and
Yeah.
where did that bullet it hit one of the spots,
Oh,
and right
great.
as you see that, you hear a creaking, like a weird like gurgling sound, and a scream from your wife as your brother latches on to her.
I knew it. Dang it. What can go wrong will go wrong. I think I shoulder charge
Okay.
my once was
Okay.
brother just to knock him off.
Okay. Uh, just roll roll in athletics.
Where's my athletics? Oh, I see it. Ooh. Could I get another dice?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this probably won't go well. Yeah, just barely one
Okay.
success.
Awesome. That's all you needed. Because he grabbed a hold of her foot,
Okay.
and you shoulder check him away. Um, you've got you've got like a hatchet in the house for chopping up firewood.
Hmm.
There is a little flame in the hearth, like in your little wood stove you've got. Just trying to list out the things you've got in your room. Um, yeah, so
Um, I would tell Marie to. I would turn to Marie and say, "Get out of here!" And then I would try and go for the hatchet.
okay, you definitely get to the hatchet, um, and you do have a basic medical bag that
Hmm.
she just that was your book was in your little medical bag. Let's just put it that way. So because you've got basic
Hmm.
um, um, and just roll me. Actually, I'm just gonna say that you hack him to bits, and he's moving around, and you just start kicking the pieces into the fire, like trying to get him to
Hmm.
burn. And it's terrifying. You're covered in raspberry jelly. You're just trying to cover, like, clean it off, and then you get that realization, Marie. You run out, and she had already put like 3 or 4 tourniquets on her leg.
Oh no. Oh no. Is this she get bit? Do I see that she got bit?
That you see it now.
Oh,
Roll me a discipline.
oh, where's my discipline? Pretty sure it's pretty good. One success.
Nice. You can with that you can keep it together good enough. Um, where do you bring her? Do you bring her
Hmm.
back into the carnage room? Actually, your house is probably starting on fire because you probably just started throwing, like, you had you definitely would have had some oil. So
No, I would probably shoot. What's around?
well, it's a smaller town. Uh,
Knowing the bite,
yeah.
right? I would probably get her away from the town.
Okay, so you're just kind
No,
of hoofing
knowing
it.
that's what's about to ensue.
Okay. So you start hoofing it. You get so it's the middle of the night. You kind of get into this gorge.
Probably in the middle of nowhere. Probably lay her up against a tree.
Yep. You find a tree. You both are panting. She, of course, is terrified. Um, you start rummaging through by feel in your medical bag. You kind of cut your finger a little, like your finger a little bit on your saw.
Hmm.
Uh, you do find like a candle. You light it, so that's all you have is just this candle light, and you start looking over the wound, and it's got the veins associated like by are turning black. It looks like it stopped at the first tourniquet, but it's starting to go past, and she's crying, like looking at you.
I look at her. I'm probably also crying at the same time, and I probably say, "I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I love you so much." And then um I probably ask her, I'm like, do you want me to put you out of your misery?
And she's just like, I don't know. It just I don't want to hurt you. So she like asks you to like tie her up, to use the strap of your bag to tie her hands behind her back. Um, and
Gosh.
and then like you embrace her like one time. You're like turning back to your bag, and you hear a like a weird gurgle sound. She lunges at you. You put your right hand up to kind of cover your face. She bites down on your hand,
Yep.
and then she flops back down to the ground. And then that scene that I described before, seeing her eyes change and stuff like that. That's what you're seeing, and you're starting to wrap a tourniquet as fast as you can. You take your belt off, you wrap it tight around your arm, and you're starting to saw into your
Mhm.
arm, watching her change.
Yep.
And you knock the
Um,
yeah.
I probably after I put the like saw my arm off, I would think you say I have a flame.
You have a flame, and then also in your bag you would have had like a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
So you could pour that over
I
the
think
stub and combust it. I'm getting no sound.
yeah, do you think afterwards do you think I have enough to set Oh, wait. Um I would think um she's tied up, right?
Yep.
I'm going to try to cut her head off.
Well, you definitely do that, but you notice that the body like has a mind of its own.
And then do I have enough to set that on fire?
You can definitely find that tree is you pretty much start that tree on fire. So you
Yeah.
put
I'll set the body on fire.
okay. Um, roll me an observation.
2 successes. Hey, 2 and a 5.
Okay. You notice that she's kicking around, and then you're like, "Where'd my hand go?"
Mm-hmm.
It's not there.
Oh God. I'm just gonna like shrug it off and run. Obviously, put I'd probably I obviously don't have anything to put her head in.
Well, you could have like ripped part of her apron off and wrapped.
Well, yeah, but I mean like put it in my bag or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I definitely like wrapped it up. I guess I just put it in my bag, stuffed it in as much as I could, but
You
I
probably
don't know.
dumped
It'd
out all
probably
your
still be poking out.
medical stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you've got your book and your wife's severed head in the bag.
Yep.
Okay. And
I think I touch it and I go, I'm so sorry, and then I run off.
okay. Also within the book, you did have some. Uh, in the base of your bag, you would have had some coin from your brother. That's where he would have stowed the cash, the
Mhm.
coins. Um, and so this is how you kind of course, you probably hop on, like you ask for help at different times from different people, usually at night, trying to hide. You find like a smaller keg barrel to put her head in, um, and you start heading north. Um,
Yeah.
and through a series of other events, you do finally meet Thaddeus and things like that.
Yeah. I think along the way I'm definitely studying um on to the reason I took her head is to see if I could like save her somehow, you know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a long shot. He knows it's a long shot,
Yeah.
but at this point he's just doing whatever he
Oh
can to
yeah.
get her back.
Oh yeah.
And along the way as he's studying, he realizes like he needs a lot of money to do something to study this, you
Mm-hmm.
know. A lot more
Um,
resources.
and you've got like reoccurring nightmares of this. But you kind of end up in New York doing doing different work, like probably helping out in the medical field or doing whatever sciencey stuff you'd really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Probably yeah, medicine or something like that.
okay, well, what one of those like an apothecary? You're probably at an apothecary,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and someone comes in and you're about ready to help them, and you recognize it's your dad.
Oh.
So this is like 1850, like later 1850s. So it's like 10 years after, like 11, like around like 11 years after what happened at home, 10 years after the what happened down south. Um, he looks he doesn't look like he's aged a day.
Mm.
He looks
I probably have gray hair
oh
by
yeah,
then.
and but he looks happy to see you, and he's looking around. He's like, where's Marie? Where's Hansel?
Oh. I'm guessing Hansel's the
Yep.
brother? I kind of shocked, looked around, and I look around. Do I have the metal hand or is it still a nub?
You probably have a prosthetic of some sort. So you got like a wooden
Okay.
one, or you have like an apparatus to help you do jobs.
I I look down at my nub, which has the apparatus, and I go, they are no longer with us.
He looks down at it, looks up at you, and his countenance totally changes. He says, "Just give me the page."
Um, I think I refuse to give him the page. Not until he gives me some answers. So yeah, I would say no, not yet. Not not until I get some answers first.
And then he lifts his right hand up and he shows you those two signet rings. I'm a part of something
Mm-hmm.
far older than you could possibly understand. You would have taken my job if you want to have messed things up like you did. I'll put it
I
this way. We keep dangerous things away from the public.
I would say I've seen some crazy stuff happen these past few years. So I think I can handle whatever you're going to tell me.
Really?
And then I probably hold up the page right there.
He snatches it up quick
Mm-hmm.
and he rolls it up and he puts it in like a cylinder, like a leather cylinder, like a kind of like a map holder.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you. He's like, his eyes start tearing up. I'll do my best to stay in touch. He just kind of turns around. And then, like, right before he leaves the door, he's just like, I'm very disappointed.
um, do I have my medical bag with me?
Yeah.
I throw it at him.
Okay.
And I'm very,
I'll say you actually hit him.
I'm very PO'd.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Actually, roll me an observation again.
Okay. So I got a 9 and a 10, and I needed an 8.
You got a 9 and a 10. How
And I
about
needed an 8, yeah.
okay? How about I'll have you succeed at a cost. We can do that.
Okay.
You noticed that the signet rings, most of your life, it must have been wax or something on top of them. So that's why you couldn't tell what they were. The one on his ring
Mm-hmm.
finger definitely was the face of like a Sumerian chimera.
Okay, like the statue.
Yep, exactly like the statue. And then the other one looked more like it had a lion and a goat on it. Which
Okay.
and it also had a snake, like kind of a snake going around the outside edge of it. So it would be reminiscent of like a Greek chimera.
Hmm.
This is all before you met Thaddeus. Far
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't say anything. I just throw the bag.
Okay. All right. Well,
Little teary-eyed, like so angry that I'm crying.
oh yeah. Now, let's go back to the present. So after that horrible memory, let's have
You're right.
you try to make your knife.
Nice. All right, here we go. What do you want me to roll?
Well, because I believe because you already did the schematic, you did like a crafting or science or something like that, drawing it up. So you're already we're gonna have like one additional momentum, I believe.
Okay.
So, um, how's your crafting?
Not bad. Pretty good.
Okay.
14.
Okay. If I could have you roll a crafting, and then if you have a single success, that's all you need because you had the other stuff. So
Just a single success?
yes.
Do I trust 2 dice? I mean, I think I should, but I want to make a good knife. And I have a momentum, you said, right?
Yes.
Could I
Well, no,
use
that
that for
that
anything, or is
momentum.
that...
Yeah, I'll let you have that as the additional dice.
Oh, so I get an additional
Yeah,
because of the momentum?
yeah.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
let you
Okay.
just do that way.
All right.
I'm gonna be nice to you since I just took away your entire family.
It's a good thing I used that momentum because I got one success.
Okay, good. You made the knife. So what it is you took an old syringe, like the inside of it, and that's your handle.
Okay.
and you kind of made it so there's multiple needles. So what and then once you like drive it into somebody, they'd get the brunt of all that poison. But you also
Awesome.
made it have an option that you can cover the blade in the poison as well. But
Awesome.
yep,
Sweet.
it's going to be the best as just like an injection wise, of course. But
Yeah. Very nice. I like that.
okay.
And you know, yeah.
And what?
I was thinking of my brother's name when you finally revealed it. I was like, oh,
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep. Uh, is there anything else you'd like to make or study up or ask questions of?
I think.
Would you have asked Thaddeus to look into anything for you?
I mean, I would ask him for any help he can on, obviously, Marie. I think I asked him for help. Like when I met Thaddeus, it's probably like a business arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
But after a little bit, I probably got to know him and probably trusted him with the information I had. So I probably asked him for help with Marie a while ago.
Okay.
But now I'm probably asking him for help because I'm really looking into this ghoul thing, not only just to make like a helper,
Mm-hmm.
a minion, but also to see if I could find anything that could help with the original problem.
Okay. Uh, reason. Uh,
And,
okay.
and then maybe like some extra shotgun shells for my coach gun.
Okay. You definitely. He gets you a bandolier of
Nice.
10 12 gauge rounds. You still only and you've got that 120 gauge single shot shotgun with that special round too.
Nice.
If you want to modify that so it's like a shorter barrel or anything, because that's not a close quarters shotgun. That's not a coach gun. That's a regular like a 30 like 28 to 30 some inch barrel on that 20 gauge.
Well, I think my close range would be my knife.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what would you say the shotgun is besides a close
Well, that
range?
that coach gun
Medium?
is yeah, it goes up to medium range.
I think I think I would keep it medium because that's like the only range I have.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, I have the Derringer, but I guess that's
yeah. Well, he's still looking into the ghoul thing for you. Still waiting.
Mhm.
Did you describe anything about your dad's rings to him or anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I trust. I,
Or are you still mad about it, or do you even want to know?
I mean, I hate him, but I'm curious about the rings. So I wouldn't. I would just like if talking about it, I would briefly talk about my father, but
Okay.
I would be more curious in the rings itself rather than my father.
Okay.
Because it obviously has a tie to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Thaddeus, me, I've worked with Thaddeus a long time before we met the group, right? Or for a little bit.
You've known him for a few months.
Okay, yeah, I think he would know.
Okay. He's told you that he's heard of organizations, really old ones,
Hmm.
and he's looking into them. So, but the
Hello.
I'm still here.
Okay. I thought I lost. lost you.
He's with that symbol. He's heard the Lamasu Gate or the Shepherds of the Ark.
So it's two different.
Yeah, because there's two different. He was wearing two different rings, but it was
Uh,
still a Chimera, and he's like they're um, they were one of the same organization, but they're not they're not together anymore. But that's all he kind of knows at the moment. So
Okay, that's definitely going into my research. I'd probably ask Thaddeus if he has any information on them, if he could bring it to me.
okay, so he's gonna acquisition and talk to the librarian about it. Cool.
Yep, and besides working on Hansel as well, I think that's about it. On
Awesome.
any requests.
Awesome. Well, I think we can stop there, and we'll be
Awesome.
yeah.
Very good. I
All right.
loved it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and
Thank you.
see you guys soon.
See you guys. I don't know if they can see me wave anymore.
They can see you. They can't see me. All right. Laters.